Thanks for tuning in to Audio Oasis, KEXP's Northwest Music Show. I'm Sharlese, your host, and it's now time for a live performance by Portland's Blouse on 90.3 KEXP. Listening to Blouse on 90.3 KEXP.
Wanted to be
You're listening to a live performance by Blouse. You just heard In a Glass and Imperium. Both songs are from their new record, Imperium. Thank you guys so much for coming to the show. I'm very excited to have you guys here for a ton of different reasons. For the first reason is because last year when the self-titled came out, I don't think I heard it until December, and I was disappointed because I wasn't able to put it on my top 10 because I loved it so much. So Imperium came out, and I think I asked you guys what was going on with the record, and you guys were like, it's coming, and it came out, and now it's so great. It's one of my favorite things about it is how fun it is to listen to. It is like a listening journey. The next thing about it is the obvious is that it sounds different. When I first heard it, I was like, this is totally different than, what the self-titled sounded like. And, the obvious thing is that the synthesizers are gone. What was the decision behind that? And how did you guys decide to, just go with that decision?
Well, it was a big decision, and I'm actually just starting to realize how big of a decision it was at the time. We didn't... our producer, Jacob Portrait, he thought of the idea right away. He just thought it would be an interesting challenge. I didn't think we'd make it all the way through. I wasn't really sure how the record would sound, how we would sound without those sounds. And now that it's out, I didn't realize how dedicated people were to the first record. It's actually kind of a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It just struck me actually yesterday. I was talking to a journalist, and he was just like, "Whoa, you guys, that's just the bravest thing."
Yeah, everyone's talking about it. Everyone. It's all over the internet.
It didn't seem like that big of a deal. But we had a really good time. It was challenging. It was, we talked a lot about proto-punk and stuff when we started the band, so it was fun to just get a little more guitar-y and not rely on hooky synth melodies as much.
It's great, and especially Trust Me, that is the best ending ever to an album. Imperium is a great opening. I've listened to this record over and over and over and over again. I enjoy it. But Trust Me is so great. Just the vocals throughout the whole thing, though, throughout the whole album, and just how the in and outs of it. I know listeners, just listen to the album and then you'll know what I'm talking about. And then I realized when I was listening to the album that there were other albums that I enjoyed listening to, too. So Jacob with Vampire and Star Effer and Unknown World Orchestra. So I kind of was like, yay, that's awesome. That is just so infectious in that way that you can go on that journey. The other thing is, Sunny Day Real Estate went through a change in sound. Like Jeremy Enoch, he changed his vocals. So, don't feel like you're alone in all of this.
Yeah, I mean, we had the talk. We knew we might lose some fans and some people would be upset. And we were ready for that. I mean, we're not necessarily in the business of pleasing people 100%. You know, we have to be a little bit selfish. So
no, and it's also that experience of just being in a band and challenging yourself and doing new things. So it's great.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know, Trust Me was the last song we recorded, and it really up until that last moment of finishing the record, we were just exhausted, and we were working on it, and it probably feels that way, such a good last song because it was the last song. It's kind of cool.
I like how it makes you feel, just the listening experience. I like how it makes me feel.
Thank you. I'm so glad to hear that. No, that's exactly the point.
Okay, cool. So the article on Planet Notion is so great because it talks about things that you guys like and the inspiration behind some of the record. And I liked hearing that you guys like 90s hip-hop.
Oh, yes. We certainly do.
Got us through our last European tour. I got 5 on it.
Yeah.
Well, are you guys familiar with LL Cool J's Big Old Butt?
Oh, yeah.
So great.
Yeah. He's amazing.
Yeah. That
I like
song,
how he's always eating an apple in his videos.
Yeah, right. When I heard that song, the first time I heard it, I was so mad, but I was happy. It definitely is a document of the time and what guys were into. I mean, guys are probably still into butts.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure.
Arian, our guitarist, his favorite song, or one of his favorites that he likes to bring up, is the Bubble Butt song.
Bubble butt.
So, you know.
The other thing is the Museum of Jurassic Technology.
Have you been there?
No, what is it and where is it?
I don't even feel like I'm equipped to explain what it is. Like, I almost want to just tell people to go there. It's in LA. It's on Venice Boulevard. Technically, I think in Venice, but kind of in the city a little bit. And it's almost like a meta museum. It's like this museum about museums. It's this tiny, I forget the name of the guy, but there's just all these strange kind of oddities, and it's really dark in there, and it's kind of like it merges poetry and science and just sort of like those mysteries of life that you kind of maybe a few hundred years ago they used to sort of ponder over more often, and when you're in there you kind of go into that space, but it's very strange. I mean, I don't think everyone would like it, but I think you would.
Yeah, I think I would too. I've never been to LA, so there's another reason for me to go.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Thank you guys for making Imperium.
You're
yes,
welcome.
And thank you for playing it.
Yeah.
On the air.
Yeah, we love KEXP. Thank you for having us up here.
Yeah, this is your second time here?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, you guys should come back again after this.
Thank you. I hope so.
Speaking of that, you guys have a couple more songs?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Blouse on 90.3 KEXP.
Could we stay in a feeling like this?
Blouse on Audio Oasis, KEXP. You've been listening to a live performance by Blouse. You just heard 1,000 Years and A Feeling Like This. You guys are headed to Europe. You guys have already been there before.
Yes.
What are you looking forward to in Europe?
Well, I hate to sound cheap, but we really love the food there. I mean, we think they treat bands really nice, and we always feel like everywhere we go we're like at home. But it's really lovely to just, I mean, it's hard to really even point anything out specifically, just being able to travel and see new places. Most of the places we're going, we've never been aside from the major cities.
Cool.
So that's exciting, I think.
Thank you guys so much for coming to the show. I really enjoyed having you guys here, and thanks to Captured Tracks for helping me get you guys here, because I've been asking for such a long time.
Oh, well, it's been a pleasure. We had a really good time. Thank you.
Let's see. Imperium is available everywhere, and it's a highly recommended listen from myself. And you can keep up with Blouse at blouse.com, and on Facebook, just add an extra B to the Blouse. And on Twitter, they are very active there. Check them out there too. All right, you've been listening to Blouse on Audio Oasis 90.3 KEXP, Seattle.